It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get your skate every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Yeah, hello, and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. It's Tuesday.
Wow, flying already, isn't it?
It is. Keeping an eye on the tropics. We've got what is a storm brewing over there in the Gulf of Mexico, and it is going to be kicking up and quick, turning from Tropical Storm Helene into a Category 3 hurricane with 115-mile-an-hour winds. Supposed to hit the Big Bend area of Florida between Tampa and Pensacola Thursday night.
So it will be shitty, though, on this side of the old map here in Florida, our area, Palm Beach County, Broward County, Dade.
Yeah, I think we'll have what you like to refer to as those feeder bands.
Feeder bands, because I think it's cozy. That's movie snack time, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing we'll have to deal with, they had said earlier this morning, and this would have been from the 5 a.m. advisory, so I don't know what they've said at the 8 a.m., but wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour, and it's going to be the water, the moisture. With the king tides going on, that's the big thing, is the flooding and people driving way too fast for how wet it is and being a fool on the roads. That's probably our biggest risk.
Yeah. I'm definitely a risk out there.
Yeah, when you say fool, why you looked at him?
Whatever. You're a shitty driver, too.
Oh, I'm one of the shittiest.
Rain or shine, we are not very good on the road.
I told you, if I ever hit the lottery, that's the first thing I'm buying, a driver. 24/7, I'm going to be like Mr. Big on Sex and the City. There will be a car waiting downstairs for her.
I'm just such a better passenger.
Me too. I'm so productive.
I'm all about the snacks. I'll pay for gas. Don't just get me away from the fucking.
I get like 3 videos edited every time I'm in an Uber. I love it. Unless the Uber driver wants to talk to me, and I can't edit because they're talking so much.
Do you like driving, or do you hate it, Kevin?
No, I'm okay with it. I wouldn't say I hate it. I prefer to ride, I think, now than drive. But if I got to do it, I got to do it. It's okay.
Are you a shitty passenger, or are you good?
I think I'm awesome anywhere you put me in a car. Just awesome.
Oh, I back seat really well.
Just put me anywhere.
I'm a good backseater. I really
love it,
am. I kind of thrive back there.
You know where I do my best work? In the third row. If you're in an SUV with third row seating, I love it back there because then it's your own private little area.
Okay.
A good move always is, if you are the passenger, if you go on a road trip with a bunch of people, pick up the snacks first round. Set the tone right.
Okay.
If you're the third passenger, set the tone right.
He does come fast and heavy and hard with his snacks.
Well, I think everyone's got the role to play on a road trip. The driver, I mean, you got to make
everybody's doing it right.
You got to make it cool for the driver.
Yeah.
Because they're doing the heavy lifting.
Mm-hmm. They're doing the Lord's work.
They are.
Take care of them. Yeah, I agree with you. Got that weather to look at, and Virginia's daughter is going to be heading to a really good football game this weekend. Going over to Tuscaloosa to see Alabama take on Georgia.
How much is, what does Cannon say? Who do I go with? If I want to win some cheddar.
I haven't asked him, but I think Cannon would probably tell you go with Georgia here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that who Daddy Ralston would go with?
I would right now.
Okay.
Yep, I would. So Alabama had a tough game against South Florida that just got rolled by Miami. And Georgia had a tough game against Kentucky, but I think they're going to be able to do it. But we'll see. I don't know. I would not be surprised by either way. It's not a definitive, no doubt. But I would say Georgia by 4.
You want to put some action on it?
Cannon would.
Can we put action on it with your son, or do we have to go through the Hard Rock app?
You just want to do straight up betting? Yeah, everything's got to be done on the app. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we can't use Cannon as a legit bookie.
Yeah.
I feel like we're not too far from that.
Yeah, I'm making him keep it on the app because that way it's only slightly illegal. It's not massively illegal. It's
He's not running a racketeering out of your house.
Yeah.
What could be the problem?
Right. Gotta keep. If you're gonna do illegal things, kid, you gotta do it the almost legal way. So yeah, we're keeping it to that. Let me see. There's a couple of interesting things going down here today. Had some more Diddy nuggets with that. Big question is this Jaguar Wright, who is giving all kinds of great dirt. Is she reliable? And the big question a lot of people around here are asking, is she more or less credible than Virginia? And so we're trying to figure out, who you believe less.
That is a good question.
I mean,
we don't really know yet.
that was quite the segment we had with all of your.
Whatever. Time will tell. Gosh, I really hope the judge was banging the sheriff's daughter.
Yeah, you really need that to happen
I
now.
really
I don't
need that.
know if there's any coming back from that. with
I really need it to
credibility.
play out. I need Sheriff Mickey Steins to have a daughter, first of all.
Right.
If he doesn't have a daughter, I'm screwed.
Well, that's why I was a little suspect when the woman on the TikTok, 16 or 17.
Yeah.
That alone right there, you don't have a fact of the story.
But she had the convincing Kentucky accent. Claimed to be affiliated.
I don't know. Did she?
Personal knowledge of the situation.
That shit sounded goofy to me. They were doing polls on a story that's probably not even real.
I had thought that it was odd that they had really kept the motive out. Maybe they really wanted to get it concrete. So I was like, oh my gosh, Virginia's broken the case here. This is exciting stuff.
I give all the credit and the glory to TikTok.
What a great motive. Yeah. So we'll have to wait and see. As of right now, either Virginia's way ahead of the curve or she's completely wrong.
Come on, Kentucky. Please let there be a daughter.
No,
Please.
you don't want that either. Now you sound like a fucking maniac.
Well, sorry, I didn't touch her.
All right, okay, Titanic Sinicki. Always missing that iceberg barely,
Come
Kev.
on, molested.
Good gosh. The fuck you say? Why are you making me and Kevin look bad again?
We all get grouped into this thing.
I know we do.
I know.
Because she'll say some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, we think this, y'all. No, we don't.
Oh, it's only Tuesday. Can you imagine what kind of crazy shit I'm going to say on Friday?
It's me and Kevin's biggest fear.
It's valid.
So Jennifer had said you guys were reporting on Albie Shore yesterday. He had eluded in a video because he's claimed that Diddy's the one that put him in his coma. And you say, now all the stuff you're hearing about Diddy, you believe me now? Well, I guess to add more context to the overall story and knowing the characters, Albie Shore had a kid with Kim Porter, Diddy's ex, prior to her being with that POS, it says here from Jennifer.
Gotcha.
He's the good-looking kid you always see as part of Diddy's kids.
Gotcha. He's good looking because he looks like Al B and not like
Not
Diddy.
Diddy, yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Hopefully he looked like Kim. Kim was gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
She was
Model-like.
stunning. Supermodel. Cassie, too.
He's always, because of what he did, he punched way out of his weight class.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if he didn't have all that, he's not laying on those kind of chicks.
Hell no.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, what we get, but there's a lot of information. People want so much information on Diddy, and everybody's trying to throw all these big names into it. And all these big names are trying to say, nope. Leo DiCaprio, supposedly a person in his camp, is like, nope, he had nothing to do with it.
Boom, picture Leo.
Yeah,
Here you are at Diddy's 50th birthday, which just was a few years ago.
yeah 2019, 5 years ago.
It is. It's the Epstein thing all over again. I don't know.
I don't know that guy.
I don't know Diddy.
I haven't been around him.
I never met Diddy, but you're on a song with him.
Well, they're trying to say years ago, and so the question is, does 5 years put that somebody well enough in your rearview mirror?
No.
Well, no,
They were saying 20 years ago, Leo hung out with Diddy.
There's going to be times where celebrities went there, nothing bad happened.
Sure.
They just don't want the heat of, you don't want your name being involved with Diddy right now.
No.
Yeah. So,
No matter who you are.
Yeah. So he admits, 20 years ago I was with Diddy, but it's been 5 years at least since I've been with him, I think is what the source was saying.
Yeah.
Yes, the rep from Leo said he has nothing to do with any of that world. So for anyone to assume that he will be roped into this based on a few grainy photos that are more than 20 years old is ridiculous.
Please do not take offense to this, but can cite your source?
GotRooster.com.
Are we sure that happened?
It's Daily Mail who had the story, and they're okay. Most of the time they're all right, but you never know. So, yeah, we'll see.
Well, you could have gone to a Diddy party, nothing bad had happened.
Yeah.
Totally.
And I think that happened a lot as well.
Yeah, so the source close to Leo says he's not been in contact with Combs for years. And then I think that's the question. Yeah, they said the last time was the 2019 party. So 5 years.
Yeah.
5 and 20 is a little different, though. If you're trying to sell that I haven't seen him since 20 years ago, and then we see a
they're
picture.
maintaining that he did see him in 2019. They hold up to that, but they're just saying it's been years since he talked to him. We're talking 5 years.
Yeah, no, we're bad at math, but I get why.
Yeah. So that's what the story is. So the question is 5 years enough of distance?
No.
Yeah, between the two.
To say that you don't know nothing about him.
Yeah, I don't think Diddy was ever. He's probably never been nice, and he's probably always been a fucking dick.
And that's what he said back in 1999. He's like, I should be arrested. He said it in the clip you played this morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, waiting for more dirt to come out on that. There's just so many people, I think. If you had to put together a list, who do people want dirt on the most? Diddy, got to be right near the top. But there's a lot of other big names that people think, like the Ashton Kutchers, be like, okay, I can't wait to hear what's going on with him. They feel like he's just been so close to so many shady people.
Well, even throughout history, if you could really know some of the rumors that, they said some crazy stuff about JFK, you wonder, were those rumors true?
Sure.
Frank Sinatra, this has gone on, forever when you hear some shit about somebody like that. You would like to know the real truth.
I think the true satisfaction is having a living person that you can see them pay it off.
Yeah, for sure.
Not just somebody gone, but somebody that is in the here and now. The Jay-Z stuff, that's going to be rather interesting to see what all has gone on with him. And that story today about him paying off somebody to help get a casino in Manhattan. There's just one story after another that he is playing with fire. The one day you're like, okay, when is that house going to burn down?
The one I'd like to know would be J-Lo. How much did she know about Diddy being such a...
Did she hide the gun in her lady pocket?
Pussy pistol. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So.
I don't know. Those are the rumors.
Yep.
Even if it's a small gun, that's going to be tricky.
You'd have to get one of the mini guns, like one of them little pirate guns. You know what I'm talking about?
And, I mean, what kind of crazy person puts a gun in their vagina? Like, wouldn't you be afraid, like you would do a Kegel and shoot yourself in the puss?
That's why maybe that story is not real. But
maybe that story's not real.
Because
think about just the basics of putting a gun up there.
But there's certain stories. This story's been around for a minute. It's kind of like Richard Gere and the gerbil. How do these stories get to be?
Right.
And they on such a massive level where everyone knows at least
it
the
just
rumor
seems like
of
a
it.
lot to fit, and then you're like, that's crazy, and you're right. Could she operate that thing? Like, if there was a drive-by, could J-Lo lay on her back, kick her legs up, and shoot back?
Booty shake out bullets.
That'd be amazing.
Shake that thing.
Gosh, that'd be so impressive to see.
I mean, I don't know.
Virginia and I saw a girl one time that T's Lounge that was shooting ping pong balls out of her vagina.
Yep, and I had grabbed a baseball bat and I was like playing. They called it pussy baseball.
Cooter ball, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm
Cooter ball.
And I'm sure
Cooter ball.
I've asked this question before, and I ain't got the parts. Would that be hard to do as a woman, or was she just really talented at doing that? Or if you practice that, could you do that?
I think anybody with the practice could do it. Some are going to be better than others. I think it's all about your vaginal wall. How much control do you have over it?
Are you doing your Kegels?
Yeah. The Kegel is going to help you in that scenario. Because if you can figure out how to poink.
From what I understand, Kev, the Kegel is the ab workout for the vagina.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
I'm doing them right now
Work
and
that
looking
pelvic
at
floor.
you.
All right, stop. She's so weird. Son. You've gotten weird.
I have.
You have gotten weird. Just to let you know. I don't know if anyone else is telling you that. But
Oh, yeah. Everybody's telling me that. I don't give a shit.
yeah, that's the problem.
Can't stop, won't stop.
That's another name that comes up, too. A lot of people want to see go down. Bill Gates. Alyssa said that he's got a show out called What's Next on Netflix that is about AI. Seems rather interesting.
Who is this?
Bill Gates.
Gotcha.
Yeah, people think there's a lot of stuff going on with him. And it was rather interesting. They were asking him questions about, taxing the rich. It's election time, and that's one of the big issues coming up, thinking that Trump would protect those who are wealthy, and then, the Democrats going after people with wealth to pay their fair share. That's one of Kamala Harris's talking points, and see what would happen. And he talked about how he'd want to pay more. It's interesting to see the comments that are there. Because, some people, and one person said, hey, I don't even make a ton of money, but the government takes enough. I don't want them coming after all the stuff that I've worked for. I heard that guy who is on Shark Tank, he calls himself, was it Mr. Wonderful or something like that?
The one that was in the boat crash.
What the hell is that?
Mr. Wonderful, yes.
His argument about it is saying that if you tax the wealthy, they live all over the world anyway. And so what they'll do is they'll just move their wealth to another country. It's not going to tax them. So you chase away all the pioneers of industry outside of your borders. That's his argument against it. It's an interesting argument. I'm not rich, so I don't think about it a whole bunch. But
his name is Kevin O'Leary, and he's Canadian.
Okay.
We'd sell that a boot.
Yeah. So that's his argument about it. But I know Bill Gates is one of those names.
Yeah, this is kind of a little too smart for me.
Well, let's take it in the other direction. Let's talk Hawk Tuah girl.
Okay.
There we go.
How is that little princess doing?
Heard you checked out her podcast. What do you think?
It was okay. It's not my cup of soda. I would never listen to it. I had it in the background when I was cleaning, and it kind of just came on my YouTube.
Is it a video and audio?
Yeah, it was very much shitty. The second episode she did, terrible audio. It's her and her friends out on the porch talking about. I didn't like it, but I think she's a sweet girl, and I think she's nice. But as far as content-wise, I didn't think it was very good. It ended with them doing cheerleading things at her high school. I feel like they didn't talk much. But I think what's going on with her is the media, and everyone's trying to make her sexual because of what she said. I think she's turned down stuff from Penthouse. I think she said she's not doing OnlyFans. And I think she's like a good girl, not a I just think she's.
She had a comment.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
she doesn't want to have an OnlyFans.
No, and she comes off very sweet and very likable. Now, is that going to go the distance for a long career? I don't know. I don't think the podcast was that good, but she's got a charm about her.
Yeah, I think she would be a really good personality, but I think that, to me, I see a lot of in her what you would put together on a radio show. And right now, if I were putting it together, I'd put her at number 3 on a show. And so you don't have to carry anything. You're in there to throw in a quip here and there and keep it entertaining. And I think she'd be an endearing character. But you try to put the weight of a show on her shoulders, I don't think she's ready to carry it, and she might be the kind of character that could carry it.
Well, Whitney Cummings was the one that first did her show, her first episode, and it really did turn into Whitney Cummings interviewing her the whole time.
Yeah, and I think that's it.
Because the pro in the room took over.
Yeah, but Whitney Cummings' performance wasn't that great either.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just not my cup of soda.
Do you not like Whitney?
She's not my favorite.
I don't know her that well.
But I mean, whatever.
Yeah, when you put shows together, she's a great reactor. She reacts and has cute little things to say, but keep her in that position. If you don't put too much on her, I think it would work for her.
Well, she's new. She's
Absolutely.
a newbie.
I mean,
she eventually could do it, but I mean, right off
believe it or not,
bat,
it actually takes a little bit of time and practice and all that stuff. I know everybody's like, well, you just turn on a microphone and start talking. But
there's a stat out there, and I sent it to you. There's so many podcasts out there in the world right now.
Yeah.
And a percentage of them just quit and aren't active.
It's over 80.
And the main reason why is they didn't realize it was going to be that hard, and B, they started running out of things to talk about. It's meaning you have to find things to talk about.
Yeah.
So many people were like, oh my gosh, we are so funny. We should do a podcast. And they buy the equipment and start doing a podcast, and 6 episodes in realize, We don't know what our podcast is about.
Well, like
We're unfocused.
like anything, things take work.
It does.
Like
yeah.
anything.
Right. It does. Just don't turn on a mic and start yapping.
But we're so funny.
And I think people can be that can happen, but can you sustain that? If you're, I mean, eventually you're going to have to talk about stuff and have topics, and if not, it's because there's some really shitty podcasts out there.
It is, yeah. It takes a lot of work to make it sound like it didn't take a lot of work.
Exactly.
That's what I don't think a lot of the beginners get.
But yeah, I didn't think it was awesome, but I do think that she's very likable.
Yeah, I agree. I wish her well. I think if she gets plugged into the right situation, and I think somebody in our industry ought to, pick her up and put her in a small southern town and let her, cut her chops for a year or two and then move her on up. Now, we were talking earlier from an Am I the Jerk email. There was a bride who was a little upset because her maid of honor went spouting off to some of the other girls in the bridal party that she was just going to write the speech she was going to give for the bride through ChatGPT and let it do all the work. And the bride took that a little personal and said, she kind of wanted something from the heart, put a little bit of, work into it, something that's personal. ChatGPT doesn't know me, so why you let it write it? So I want to see what would it sound like. And the big thing about ChatGPT, and I don't know enough about it, but I do know enough to know that it's about the prompts. And prompt engineering is going to be a real career. People can understand how to work ChatGPT like a tool are going to be in great demand. So what I wrote, just to see how it would do on a speech, I told ChatGPT, I said, write a short maid of honor speech that I can give to my best friend that I've known for 20 years for her wedding. We both like My Little Pony and NSYNC growing up. And we also once dated the same boy without knowing it. Make it funny. So that's what I told ChatGPT.
Okay.
Now, if you heard this, what would you think if this was the speech? You would say, hi, I'm Bessie. And I have the absolute privilege of being Jessica's best friend for, checks her watch, about 20 years now. So basically, since we were knee-deep in My Little Pony and NSYNC posters. We had a very sophisticated taste, clearly. In all those years, we've been through everything together, from slumber parties and bad haircuts to the one time that we dated the same boy without even knowing it. Seriously, what were the chances? And honestly, I think we both agree that, Dave, you're way better than that guy. So, Jesse, you've always been the Fluttershy to my Pinkie Pie, and just like Fluttershy, you've got a heart so big it can barely fit in this room today. I couldn't be happier to see you find someone who matches your kindness, loyalty, and love for cheesy 90s music. So here's to you and Dave. May your love be as timeless as an NSYNC reunion we're all still waiting for, and be as magical as the friendship we've shared all these years. I love you both. Cheers. What do you think about that, Virginia?
I did not hate it.
Okay.
I did not hate it.
I was pleasantly surprised.
I was too. I mean, there's some laughs in there.
He was laugh riot.
I give it an 80.
Generic as fuck.
I give it an 80, which in a crowd of people, an 80's a home run.
Okay, it's not being well received. Chicago Lulu says it's cliche, and that's what you would expect, and that would be it. In fact, I'm wondering how many people now are going to be sitting at weddings with a stank eye going,
wait a minute.
This was ChatGPT.
This was the speech I ripped off last week.
If I had to do one, that's probably where I had to go.
I have such a different take than you guys. I thought that sounded so generic and almost forced, and I sound like a fucking politician at times. It sounded generic. I want some personal jokes in there. Something, make it a little funny.
The stuff about
it had
Dave being not as good.
I don't know. Bessie just sounded stuck. I don't know. Maybe it was the read. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
The read was not great.
I don't know. Just Bessie sounded a little pretentious to me.
She was definitely pretentious. She's just she's a terrible person.
She sounded kind of riggy to me.
But she's pretentious. She's not writing it from the heart. Fuck Bessie.
Yeah. Okay, so you get to let us know. What did you think of that? If that was delivered by a bridesmaid during a reception, would you think it was solid, weak, or mid? And right away out of the chute, 69% are saying mid. So
Yeah.
a lot of it's like, I mean, solid is only 8%. So not a lot of people thought it was great. 25% think it was weak. Most people think it wasn't here or there. But, how many times have you heard a completely terrible one that was original? And then how many times do you hear a really outstanding speech? What would you say, Virginia, of all the weddings you've been to, how many of the best man or the bridesmaid speeches were like, whoa, they knocked it out of the park?
Not a lot. Usually it's mid. And because it's not professionally written, it's not comedy writers. I mean,
Yeah.
most times it's mid, and that's just the truth. Now, I have been a part of ones that were knocked out of the park, but those are the ones that were collaboratively written by people that knew what they were doing and crafted jokes and wove in and out of stories. And it can be done, but it requires a lot of work.
Did a rap song.
Yeah.
A rap song.
I've had to give a couple wedding speeches in my time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds like you might be able to use ChatGPT to help you out, come through all the structures and keep retooling. And you can you can go back to ChatGPT and say, no, give me a little bit more of this or a little bit more of that. And it'll listen to you and it'll adjust. So.
And if we've learned anything from this, if you're going to use ChatGPT, don't brag about how you use ChatGPT. Just do it as a tool to help you write a better speech. But don't go around telling everybody.
Yeah.
The human spirit is so in trouble.
Yeah. Well, if you missed that conversation earlier, we'll hopefully get that posted. Cynthia said she tried, but apparently the regular show is not available. We have a copyright error.
Taylor
know what
Swift.
happened.
Taylor Swift has been played for the last time on the KVJ show.
That's the second time. Old Tay. Third. Three
time.
strikes in a row.
Yeah. So
Taylor.
we tried at the end of the show, but I guess apparently I'll have Denny's check. I guess we can't get it at all today, so none of the content from the show is lost. All right. Yeah, well, we're done with that song. 3 strikes, you're out, right? The song really sucks anyway, by the way. Honestly, if I had to be honest, God, it's a terrible song.
I'd like to tap the track on her forehead.
Yeah. They've gone one too many on this album. Here goes. It really is. I didn't want to say it, but now that we're not going to, it's dog shit. Like, that's a terrible song.
Dickie Ranch, everybody.
Oh, it's terrible. It really is not good. It's not our best work.
Is that what I looked at you guys like, what the
what
fuck
is
this?
this?
Yeah, you were very confused.
I didn't like it.
Gosh,
either,
it's
Kevin.
a terrible song.
And
they're just trying to crap out more hits.
This is the third time she's gotten us.
Yeah, it's done. No more. Fool me once, right, Virginia?
Yeah, I think they fooled us 3 times.
Possibly 4.
But we have a contest going on with Taylor Swift music and the whole
We'll
tap
play
the
another
track
one.
thing. So
we'll
it's like
swap it out for another one.
swap it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll
That
swap it out
song
with
is
another one. So we won't take
poison.
away your chances. We'll just take away that song, which you'll thank us for anyway. Because it's dog shit. One thing you might want to look into a little bit more if you are a Christina Aguilera fan, though. That video I saw yesterday was good. With her and Sabrina Carpenter.
The pictures I saw were adorable.
The video looks great. The sound of it, I was like, holy crap. I mean, it sounds really good. It's a great take. I mean, that's honestly what I'd like to play. Let's play that damn song.
Well, she's pairing up with the It Girl right now.
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter is one of the It Girls.
But, I mean, and I think it was also Christina, you could see. She's all about, I want to show, okay, don't step. I know you're new, but I am better than you, and I'm the original, and I look fantastic. I look like I'm 22, and I sound like an angel. She does do that annoying run thing in the song, but, that's what she does.
The best part about that song is when she runs it up at the end.
The note she hits, though, is amazing. Like, you got to check out that whole video. And I guess this is all about the 25th anniversary of her debut album.
Oh.
And so, yeah, she partnered up with Spotify, and they've got new live covers of the track. So that might be one. I'd like to see that do something, because that's a pretty good sounding song.
What a Girl Wants is my favorite. I mean, it might be one of my top 10 favorite songs of all time.
It's a good tune.
I fucking love that song.
There's I think 3 Christina Aguilera songs I really do like. I do like that song.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
I like Beautiful. And then
I
she's got
love it.
She's got another song, and I always try to bring it up, and you guys never know what the fuck I'm talking about. But she's at a circus in the video, and there's clowns and shit, and it's a sad, depressing song, but it is good.
Sounds creepy, just like the kind of stuff you like. It's depressing with clowns. What?
What are you talking about? What About Me says that?
We were talking earlier on the regular show about weird things brought into schools. Kids will just throw something in their backpack and bring it in to show their friends or for the class. And Leslie said, yeah, I taught kindergarten for 16 years in Delray. And the weirdest and absolutely most gross thing a student ever brought in was his mom's whistle. It was a plastic tampon applicator he took out of his mom's bathroom trash can, put it in his pocket, and came in and started blowing on it.
Oh, my God.
Back in the day.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, when the two lips meet.
Back in the day, Rocco
God,
grabbed
that's terrible.
Rocco grabbed one of those and he took it in the bathtub before I could figure out that he had one, the plastic applicator, and he had it in the tub and he was using it like a telescope on a submarine. So he would come out from under the water and he was calling it the looker.
But it wasn't used, though.
Yes, it was.
Shit.
He dug it out of the trash can.
Oh, my God.
And he called it the looker.
The looker.
And he was going under the water like he was a submarine.
Oh, yeah, it's a fun
and coming
game.
out with
I get
that
it.
was the telescope.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's...
Yeah.
But he didn't put it in his mouth.
Oh, my gosh. That's right there. Leslie said, she's like, I was so horrified. He's standing in front of the class with it in his mouth. He's blowing on it. I almost threw up for the entire class. I ripped the whistle out of his mouth and threw it in the trash can. And people wonder why I don't teach anymore.
So, she's
said-
out the game.
She
She
said,
quit.
fuck this and quit.
That's
It was
amazing.
enough to drive her out of the profession.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man, that's terrible. Becky said when I was a teacher, one of my little 5-year-olds came up to me. His big brown eyes were huge, and he whispered, Miss Becky, I got a secret. I was intrigued. I said, yes, what is it? He's like, I'm rich. I said, you are? He said, yeah, I've got $10,000. You want to see? I'm like, yeah, okay, please show me. So he walks over to his backpack, he takes out an envelope and opens it, and it is chock full of $100 bills.
What?
I'm like, oh, yeah, let me see this to show another teacher. I took it away. Apparently, his mom had a work meeting for her business and left the envelope on the counter. Kid saw it, grabbed it, threw it in his backpack. She went to work, didn't know where it was. She's freaking out.
Oh no.
I told her, she came running in, was crying, gave me a huge hug, and let me tell you, they took care of me during the holidays that season.
Wow.
Could you imagine the horror of thinking you lost $10,000?
Holy shit.
Oh my gosh.
Your little asshole kid took it into school.
We gotta talk.
We gotta talk, kid.
Oh my gosh.
The shit were you thinking?
Wow.
I'm rich, he said.
I mean, little kid, he was rich.
Oh, he was.
Yes. No doubt. I mean, yeah.
Thank goodness the first person he showed it to was the teacher.
Yeah, could you imagine? I wouldn't be surprised to see a kid on the playground handing it out.
Right.
As a little kid, would you ever take, if you saw an envelope of money, would you take that? Could you see yourself doing that? Or would you know, I probably shouldn't be messing with that?
Nah, my parents never had money. So,
Yeah, my parents never had an envelope of money. They just fought incessantly about money.
okay.
Oh, shit.
There we go.
Oh, boy, here we go.
There we
Making a left down. Depression
Virginia's got
Boulevard.
an odd skill. She can make any fun topic dark.
I know.
Let's
You
talk money. Oh, yeah, let me tell you about money.
We were poor and mom and dad fought over the shit we didn't have. And, by the way, they don't call me. They hate me, Cav.
We were talking also about the rudest behaviors you can exhibit in a grocery store, according to a poll done by Huffington Post. And Karina had a good one that didn't even get mentioned in the outliers. I know a lot of people, especially in Boca, are sick of this. People who take their dogs into the grocery store that are not service animals, and I know somebody was shaming somebody on Nextdoor because a dog came and took a massive dump right in the bakery section.
No, like that's just
It's gross.
Not by the
Yes.
cupcakes.
Well, you got open food and all that stuff, and like that's
You're
why.
right.
Yeah,
If it's by the
Right.
croissants, now you have crap croissants.
right. That ain't where you do it. I mean, there's bacteria and fecal matter and all kinds of stuff here, like where you're supposed to eat.
So
Not cool, man.
Do they let the dog run around without a leash? Or they have a leash probably then?
Yeah, sometimes I've seen them, and what they'll try to do, they'll put them in a like a carriage or something like that, which still can't do it. Or they'll put this one was on a leash, and they're supposed to say something, I believe, at the Publix, like you got to prove and have the paperwork on you. Or
There's
the
a
dog
s-
has to have a vest.
Well,
and
now
things
at
like that.
Publix, there's a sign when you walk in that like only service dogs.
Yeah.
If you have a peacock, turn your ass around.
Yeah. Gator Girl said, too, a lot of times they just slink away embarrassed and don't even clean it up. Like, that's, if I step in dog crap in the bakery section of my Publix, it's, yeah. That's unbelievably rude.
It ain't right.
No, it ain't right. Can't take your freaking dog
Well,
to the grocery store,
The
man.
bakery's got the smell of frosting and all of them sweets.
That's what it's supposed to have.
Yeah. So, yeah, that no doubt in South Florida, because I'm not sure that's happening everywhere, but it's always in Boca. I've seen 3 to 4 different posts of people calling. Boca News is always calling people out. Rudeton, they call it.
There was that one that pissed everybody off. It was that girl at the airport. Her dog took a dump and she didn't clean it up. And then she's like flicking people off. And at that point, you're just double downing on
Unbelievable.
being shitty, pun intended.
And if you're looking for it, Jack said my sister lives in Pittsburgh, was at the Giant Eagle there, which is their version of Publix, and they have the Kelce Brothers cereal. Anybody see it locally or try it? I know you talked about it. Are the Swifties buying it? Yeah, I'm sure they are. It's a Kelce mix, and it, looks like them. And it's made by, I mean, gosh, is that Who makes Reese's Puffs and Cinnamon Toast? So I assume it's made by that. That's General Mills.
General Mills,
Okay.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
So they're just putting cereals that already exist together in one box.
But it's a smart repackaging because you're right. Swifties will buy it. Chiefs fans will buy it. Eagles fans will buy it. Probably some NFL fans will buy it.
the Kelce mix.
Yeah, it's putting those. And, honestly, it's not. I mean, they did Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which seems to be hands down the favorite cereal of everybody. Reese's Puffs, pretty good. Lucky Charms, they're popular, right?
Well, when they put them together, I think they do work.
Yeah.
They dance nicely with one another.
So there you go. And also on top of it, Crystal said they said on their podcast, where Panchita said, I guess it's a collector's edition. So, yeah, people snap that up like crazy.
That's true. If you get it and then they stop making it, then you hold on to it for a couple of years and then sell it on eBay.
Yeah.
I mean, I have Mr. T cereal from the 80s.
Really?
I don't want to brag,
Is
but
it still in the package?
yeah, it's in the package.
It's like you just
Wow.
took it off the shelf.
Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty cool.
Look
it's
at
fun.
you.
I mean, I think I'm bragging now.
What a panty dropper.
I sound like I'm bragging.
You imagine that as a line at the bar. Hey, you want to come to my house and see my Mr. T cereal?
It's from the 80s. It's vintage. I paid the fool.
Yeah, I said it'd be great. And I'd like to see the girl to work on. I'm like, yes, I would. Oh. Get me going, big boy. Get me going. All right, appreciate all the emails. You can always send them in to us, mail@kvjshow.com. You have an amazing Tuesday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.